Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Good King Butch, my Crusader Kings 3 playthrough. We are messing with the ruler creator now. We are creating our Good King Butch. Butch, of course, is of Dynasty Caramano. His symbol is the bear. It's a red bear on a yellow background. Yellow field, I think is what they say. And he is part of the High Chiefdom of Finland. He is the Duke of the High Chiefdom of Finland, although I believe because of our culture group he may not be referred to as Duke. We'll talk about that. So he is of the Finno-Ugric faith, Ukanusko. I'm sorry in advance to any Finnish people that may stumble upon this on the internet, because there is zero chance I'm pronouncing any of these names correctly. He is of the Balto-Finnic culture group. So now he's an 18-year-old man. So I was going to start right in the middle of the game, but I have to show you guys this because it's hilarious. So what's the difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old? He gets a mustache, of course. So anyway, we can go up and we can see how Good King Butch is going to age. He's gonna turn into Mr. Magoo. Also, we could follow him. We could follow him back to the child with beautiful, beautiful head of hair. This kid. I mean, come on, look at that hair. That's beautiful. Yeah, but we're going to start as an 18-year-old man because that gives us access to certain facial hair options and certain abilities. So, Butch is going to be a charismatic negotiator, which, of course, his personality is going to be diligent, so he's very hardworking, we know. He's going to be honest. He's probably the most honest person we all know. And he's going to be quick-witted, which is an amazing trait, which hopefully he can pass on to his future generations. And he's going to be hale. So he is hale and hardy. So he has +2 prowess. He's got +5 attraction opinion. Ooh. We'll review all this once we get into game. So Ruler Designer in CK3 is awesome because it still allows you to play with achievements. Achievements are available as long as you don't make your character too overpowered. So if you take his customization points over 400, then achievements will be disabled. So we want to play by the rules here. So we're going to turn his diplomacy up to 17. Excellent. And we're going to have to turn his martial up as far as we can take it. Yeah, there we go. So we dump prowess a little bit, and we'll take martial. We'll go over all these once we're in game. He is not married. He has no sons, no daughters. All right, I think we're ready to finalize this. Let's do it. There we go. It's High King Butch of Finland. Check our game rules. We have Iron Man enabled. Why are achievements disabled? I did not exceed the point limit. So I should have achievements enabled. Give me 1 second to figure this out. Hold on. Yeah, I can't figure it out. I think it may be a bug because I know we were under 400, but but we're just gonna play anyway because this is for fun. So let's do it. We're going to rename this Good King Butch. All right. So here we are. We're in the beautiful land of Finland. Alright, so I am not an expert CK3 player by any means. I am definitely an amateur, so if you're looking for a tutorial on how to play this game, you may want to try somewhere else, but I'm going to try and do the best we can. So the first thing we always do is we review our character. So we have Good King Butch here. He is a heterosexual male. He is the High Chieftain, Butch III of Finland. He is 18 years old. Your humors are balanced and healthy. He is of House Karamano, and he is of the Ukonusku religion. He is a diligent, honest, charismatic negotiator who is quick-witted and hale. So, diligent is good because it gives us +1 diplomacy and +1 martial, which are two of the things I think we're going to go for in this build. Diplomacy basically is your ability, generally speaking, to help your opinion of your vassals. So the higher your diplomacy, the better influence you have amongst your vassals, which is going to be very important. Martial is obviously your ability in warfare. Stewardship is how good you are at raising taxes, money, and holding land. It affects your domain limit as well. Intrigue is basically your chances of discovering plots against you or for plotting against other rulers. So Butch is not very good at this. Our good king here. And learning, which is basically a religious thing. It can also affect crown authority, which is going to be important for instituting new rules later on. He's got a prowess of 6, which is poor, which means that in combat he may not be the best. So we may not want King Butch, Good King Butch, in the front lines. So he is basically the High Chieftain for the Finnish culture. That means a duke. So it's hard to kind of explain how this game works. So this game is basically a feudal simulator. So what that means is that there's different layers of heirs, and each heir basically rules a certain group of what they call vassals. Vassals are people that own land and own troops in your domain. So, Good King Butch here is Duke. So that means that there are 3 separate, what they call in this game, counties. Or, chiefdoms, actually. So there's different names for different culture groups. So there's 3 chiefdoms in the Duchy of Finland. So let's go back. So here's a really good example. So the chiefdom of Satakunta is within the High Chiefdom of Finland, which is part of the de jure Kingdom of Finland, which is part of the Empire of Scandinavia. So, Butch is, Good King Butch here is the Duke, or the High Chieftain. So in other words, he is ruler of these 3 chiefdoms together. Now, these 3 chiefdoms are held by different people. Right now, we hold 2 of the 3. So our home dukedom involves these 3 chiefdoms, but we hold Satakunta and Mesokaila. Why did I pick Finnish? Should have went with like England or something. But anyway, so these 2, can we rename them? We can. Chiefdom of Atco, Atconian, and chiefdom of Gloucester. Gloucester. There's a Gloucester and Atco are part of the Dukedom of Finland. Now, this is a separate chiefdom called Finland, which we're going to rename that to Berlin. Berliner. Oh god. We're off to a good start here. Okay. So, Atco and Gloucester are now part of Duke Butch's, High Chief Butch's holdings. So, first thing I think we're going to want to do here is we're going to consolidate rule. So this is Chieftain Voito of Berlin. So Chieftain Voito, we are his liege. In other words, he is a vassal for us. We'll get into this later. So basically what we're going to want to do, though, is a good rule of thumb is that you want to hold all of your chiefdoms within your dukedom for different reasons. So somehow we're going to have to get rid of this guy, is what I'm thinking. Now, before we do that, though, we have things that need to be addressed. Number one, we don't have a player heir. So this game only continues if you have a child that can inherit your realm, or you have an heir. So there's different systems. Sometimes you can nominate your brother. Somebody within your house has to be a made ruler. And if you do not become a ruler, then basic game's over. So, how do we do that? Well, of course, we must get married. So, very first thing for Good King Butch here is he's going to need to get married. So what I think the most important thing is, there's different things. There's relevance, obviously, due to their abilities. So if you marry somebody with a good ability, this person's got a martial of 24, which is insane, but they are 28 years old and they hate us. So your wife can give you some of your skills. However, a better reason to marry is for alliances. So, as you can see, we are in the middle of some pretty hotly contested territory right now. So, the Duke of Upland is very powerful. Holmgardner and Karelia, they're all kind of creeping in on our borders. And then up here is the north. So this is the Baltic Sea here. So what we want to do is ally with somebody quickly within the area who's powerful, so then when we go into our conquest wars, we can pull them in to help us. And the single best way to build alliances is by marriage. So we could marry for love, we could marry for abilities, but really what we're going to do is we're going to marry for marriage. So let's find Upland. This guy has a military strength of 1400. This guy has a military strength of 1100. This guy has 420. I think the strongest in the area right now is Holmgard. The Jarldom of Holmgarder. The problem is, though, I think that they're a different religion. Yes, they're Astaru, which they consider hostile. So that may be hard to get marriage. Does he have any children worth marrying? No, he does not. Okay. Well, let's just maybe use the ruler design, the built-in marriage finder. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. And we can search by alliance power. So, Lithuanian. She's 6 years old. He's 18. May not be a good idea. It'd be a betrothal, so we have to wait until she becomes... Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. For multiple reasons, but I think the biggest reason is we'd have to wait 10 years until she could bear children, so that's a lot of years in which Butch can die and not have an heir, so that's going to be a no. So if we're going to alliance power, here we have a 17-year-old named Dobrara Piast. She is of House Piast. She's Polish. Potential alliance with the High Chiefdom of Greater Poland. She is also diligent, which is good. She's paranoid. Not so good. She is impatient. And she is a lunatic. So, attraction opinion -10. And it is congenital, so that means our children potentially could inherit the lunatic trait, so it may not be a good idea. Although her intrigue is 19, and that's Good King Butch's worst stat, so we would definitely be buffering ourselves that way. She is a fearless maniac. Alright. Helena is 25. She's a bold paragon. She's just, she's fickle and impatient. I'm thinking, I mean, in terms of alliance power and in terms of intrigue ability, she is just, you know, we're doing it. Let's see. Liege is, he's got 916 troops. Greater Poland. Where's Poland? Here. That's kind of far away. Let's keep looking. This is an important decision, guys. The Russians. Actually, in terms of relevance, she's considered the best. She's second in alliance power. I think we'll have to consider... Okay. We have to hope that Poland is going to survive, though, because if Poland dies, then we pretty much lose our ability to form alliances with them, because they'll be wiped off the map. Okay, we're going to go with the fearless maniac Dobrawa. See if they... Oh wait, sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. This. No wait. There we go. Okay. So there's a chance. Oh my god. This is big risk. So Quick and Hail are what we really want to inherit. Those are really great traits. Lunatic, not so good. We'll accept, and we'll get some prestige out of it. Alright, we're doing it. No lifestyle chosen. Okay, so lifestyle basically are perk trees, and you have to select a perk tree to focus in, and they give you different bonuses, obviously. I think diplomacy for now may be good. Martial is also pretty good, but I think for us, we're going to stick with diplomacy. Foreign affairs, majesty focus, or family focus. Family gives us a fertility plus 20 bonus, which I think is pretty important. Gives us diplomacy plus 2, which is good. Although prestige is also important as well, but we're going to go family focus, I think. That way we can get a lot of babies really quickly. Thoughtful, I think, is really good. That allows us to, when we give money to people to bribe them, they like us better. Alright, so we're going to go with that. No player areas, we're working on that. Current situation. We can declare wars. We can take a concubine. And we have few champions, but we'll worry about that later. So, back to our... So if we look at the Duchy of Finland, actually, versus what it is currently, we can see that this Nyland area, that's de jure. At least these two chiefdoms down here, these two chiefdoms are de jure part of Duchy of the Duchy of Finland. So what does that mean? So that means that historically, these two kingdoms, or sorry, these two chiefdoms are part of this dukedom of Finland. Historically, those lands have been associated with Finland. So you can use that basically as a pretext for war. It's a casus belli is the word that they use in the game. And you can say these two areas, actually, they are historically part of Finland, and therefore I should be the one in charge of them. Obviously, the person who is doing that will not take kindly to that. This is not a great start, guys, because these guys look pretty equally powerful, and he's got all three of the holdings himself. However, they are part of our group. So, I'm just curious. Can we offer him vassalage? Difference in military strength, minus 16,340. So no, he is way stronger than us right now, so we are not going to do that. Alright. So, here's our two counties that we hold. Atco and Gloucester. There is Finland. The High Chiefdom of Finland, the dukedom which I own. But not currently within our land. It is rightfully mine. And then eventually, our goal is we're going to form the Kingdom of Finland. So in order to do that, we're going to have to take at least 51%, I believe, or I think it's 2/3. They changed the rule recently. But we're going to have to basically conquer this peninsula and then create the Kingdom of Finland. And that's going to be our first main game goal after having some kids, obviously. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end this first episode. We have a little bit of introduction to our good king here, Good King Butch III. Yeah, we are going to come back in the next episode, and we're going to start making some moves. So thanks for watching. See you next time.